Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought we'd do something different, kind of like a little story time video. I've been contemplating whether or not I wanted to do this because originally my plan was to save all of these kind of stories for a book that I'm planning on writing later in life, kind of like Miss Pamela Dave Barr's I'm with the Band style. But I thought that this one was kind of cool and I really wanted to share it with you. So I've been journaling. I would say I probably started in high school. I just started like writing down feelings and everything, and then it turned into writing down cool stuff that happened to me that I wanted to remember. Here's one of my first journals, here's my second one, and then here's the one that I have now. I used to carry them around in my purse all the time with me. This one's a little bigger, so it's kind of hard to do that, but I do carry it sometimes. This one I always kept with me. And we are going to talk about a story that happened from this book today. And it happened in 2016, the summer of 2016, when I was going to Chicago with my friend Cassie and then my cousin Hannah. And all three of us kind of lived up in the northwestern Wisconsin area, northern Minnesota area. And which was like 5.5 hours from Chicago. So we planned on just taking this kind of 3-day weekend in Chicago, and we were seeing a band one night called Liverpool Legends, which is a Beatles tribute band. And then the rest of the time we were just going to kind of hang out in Chicago, do some sightseeing. We didn't really have any plans or anything. We only booked a hotel room for one night because we didn't want to be tied down to anything. So we went to the concert and everything. We had a good time at the Liverpool Legends concert, and we were just kind of like, well, what are we going to do next? But my cousin Hannah was looking on her phone, and she saw that Kiss was actually touring, and I wasn't really a big Kiss fan then, but the idea of just going to another concert was very exciting to me since I love music, and I love live music, and I'm obviously super into classic rock, so I was not opposed to going at all. And they were actually touring in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which I think was only like 3 hours away from Chicago or something. I'm not exactly sure, but it was super close. So we decided to go. We looked online and we saw that there were tickets available for like $50, which we all thought was super doable. So we got in the car the next day and just drove to Grand Rapids, Michigan. We planned that night to just like sleep in our car at a campground or something because that's really safe. You know, obviously people are already camping there, so it wouldn't be weird if we just like slept in our car. I don't think that we had a tent. Maybe we bought a tent, but I'm not sure. Anyways, we got into Grand Rapids and we immediately went to the venue. We didn't find out a place to stay or anything like we had originally planned that we were going to do, but we didn't want to like have the tickets get sold out or anything, so we went straight to the venue, got our tickets, and just hung out there before the show. The show was awesome. They were amazing, and it totally changed around my perspective of Kiss. I really love them now, and it was super fun. So after the show, we were just all stoked, and we wanted to really try and catch the band as they were leaving that night. So we went straight to the car, and I did some cool makeup. Of course, I had to kind of like get myself all GTO'd up. And so after we did that, which took maybe like 5 minutes or something, we went straight around to the back of the venue where there was like the big tour bus and semi with all of their gear on it and everything. And back there were some other girls that were waiting as well. They were younger than us. I think still in high school, but we ended up sitting there and talking with them for a while and waiting. And while we were sitting there, some of the roadies would come over to us and they'd be like, are you guys waiting for the band? Like, are you guys trying to see Kiss? And we were like, yes, like of course that's what we're doing back here. And they were like, oh, well, it's too bad because they already left. Like, they left right after the show. And we were for sure that they were just like trying to get us to leave, like they just didn't want us hanging out back there. So we were like, whatever, dude, we're gonna stay. We're devoted to waiting. And so we did. So we waited and waited, and I think like maybe 2 hours or 1.5 hours went by or something like that. But the other group of girls ended up having to leave because they were with their moms. I don't think that they were old enough to drive or anything. But so they left, and we were just there by ourselves. And it was getting kind of late. I know it was around like 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. But we moved around to the front of the gate because we wanted to be able to see more, and this big group of guys, like probably 5 guys, started like walking towards us, and we were all kind of like, okay, you know, like, all right, stay away from us. But the roadies kind of saw that these guys were coming over to us, and so they started walking closer to us too, and kind of like a way to protect us and keep these guys away. The guys left, luckily, and so we were like, oh, thank you. We were talking to the roadies, and they were like, how old are you guys? And we were like, 18, 17, you know, whatever. And they're like, oh, we don't believe you, we need to see some IDs. So we showed them our IDs and everything, and it was just funny. We were talking, and we talked about the show, and they were like, well, really, they did leave, like, we're not lying to you. They left right after the show in a couple of SUVs, and we were like, oh, dang, like, we waited here for nothing. So we were kind of bummed, like, you know, obviously we were hoping to see Kiss and maybe get some pictures, or just like a glimpse of them walking to their car, but that was obviously not happening since they had already left. But the roadies were nice enough, and they were like, well, what are you guys doing later? Like, do you guys have plans? What was going on? And we were like, well, actually, came from Chicago, but we don't live in Chicago. We were just taking like a weekend vacation in Chicago, and then we saw that Kiss was playing, so we decided to come here. And they were like, well, why don't you guys come hang out with us tonight? And we were like, okay, well, we'll think about it, like, I don't know. And so as we were walking back to the car, we all were just talking, and we were like, you know, like, it's 3 of us, and we're obviously going to be smart. We're not going to, like, take drinks from anybody or anything like that. We're not even going to drink at all, and we just wanted to go hang out. So we were like, yeah, they seem like pretty cool. And so we decided to go. We went over to the hotel that they told us that they were going to be at. They met us outside, and they walked us in, and we ended up just going in there and hanging out and talking to them about like Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley and what it was like working with them and being on tour and how he became a roadie. And then just kind of hitting on Cassie a little bit, like he wanted her number, but she was like, no, not about that life. Excuse me, but anyways, they were really respectful and nice, and it was just kind of fun to sit and talk, and we watched the Olympics. It was funny, but yeah, we stayed there until like 5 in the morning, and that's when we left the hotel, and we were like, we don't have anywhere to stay, so we kind of just like drove around for a little bit. We were super tired, like 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, we had been up, and we drove to Michigan that day, stayed for the concert, waited outside, then went to the hotel, and we were just hanging out, and yeah, we were exhausted. We didn't have anywhere to sleep, so we ended up going and finding this Walmart parking lot. We slept in the Walmart parking lot, and yeah, woke up super early too because then the sun was right in our eyes, and it was super hot. It was summertime. But yeah, it was super fun. We just went and we stayed, and we talked with the roadies, and we got to hang out and talk about Gene Simmons and all of that. And so it was really nice that they invited us back to talk with them. And they gave us some guitar picks, which I have taped right in here. There's one, and then I have another one that I always keep in my wallet with me. So yeah, that was cool, and it was just like a fun story. I have plenty more like that. So if you guys like these kind of videos, just let me know. I don't know what other story I'd want to tell right now, but if you guys like it, I'm sure I could find something. If not, I will just not do these videos anymore, and I'll save it for iBook later. But I thought it'd just be fun to share. I hope you guys like this, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.